Today is February 20th, 2026. When I'm recording this video, that means it marks exactly 1 month since my father passed. And in today's video, by the title, I want to go ahead and share with you guys 5 of the many lessons that I have learned since my father's passing. And I thought, what better environment to be to film this video than to be in my old man's truck. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the lessons that I've learned. Lesson number 1 that I've learned, which by the way, these are in no specific order. 95% of the things you once thought mattered in your life, in my opinion at least, actually don't. Like trying to convince people to fuck with me and or my content, retarded drivers that may have cut me off on the road, that server that fucked up my order, or me being late to somewhere or stressing over a small decision that's only going to have a minute effect on me if I make the bad decision. Those things that I once let get to me emotionally or irritate me or have some sort of effect on me, I found myself within the last month when those things would happen, not caring anymore. I realized those things don't actually matter. And that, to be quite honest, most of the stuff that you concern yourself with in your day-to-day that you let affect you or that inconveniences you or doesn't go as planned, that affects you in some sort of negative way, you're not going to worry about it the next day, the next week, the next month, the next year, the next 5 years. Hell, at the end of your life, you're not going to worry about these things. And it's quite interesting to me how grief has such a funny way of putting things into perspective of the things that actually matter. Now, I'm still figuring out what exactly I care about, but I could tell you for certain all the small things in my day-to-day that happen to me that don't go planned or inconvenience me, I don't let it bother me anymore, because it's like, what is a little type of irritation or even pain? What is that to me when I've probably felt the most excruciating pain of my entire fucking life this past month? So I hope you realize before something like this ever happens to you in your life, bro, that 95% of the things, or 99, it's all subjective, of the stuff that you let get to you, just realize, bro, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, I'm pretty sure you got bigger problems in your life. Worry about those things, and more importantly, go live your life. Lesson number 2. 99% of your bad days aren't actually bad. Most of the bad days you experience in this life oftentimes is just your mind and your emotional state at that time trying to convince you that that's what you're experiencing because something went wrong. Something unexpected came up, or you were just inconvenienced. Shit happens, bro. Don't let it bother you so much, because I promise you a genuine bad day is going to come and you realize those weren't it. And if you watched my last YouTube video where I first brought this up onto the internet, you'll see in that video, I specifically said, you realize most of the bad days you experience in your life aren't bad days. Because I genuinely thought before my father passed, I had a lot of bad days in my life, bro. But after it happened, I realized those weren't bad days. I genuinely at that time had a bad day. I'm genuinely having a bad time right now as I'm recording this in my life. And so moving forward, whenever I have something like I just said that inconveniences me or ruins my emotional state, whatever it is, and same thing goes for you, bro, realize that those aren't bad days, and that a genuine bad day, if you haven't had one yet, it's going to come. So don't even worry about whatever it is that is going unplanned and wrong in your life. Don't worry about it, bro. But more importantly, realize you are going to get through it. Because if you are watching this video right now, you've made it through 100% of your bad days. You're still here. You're still fighting. You're still breathing. Lesson number 3, life goes fast. Don't forget to stop to smell the roses while you still can. The days are long, but the years are short. Life goes fast, son, is something my father would always tell me. I never fully understood what he was talking about, but it wasn't until I had the time to actually reflect and realize that after I turned 25, my life started to speed up. I turned 28 in 1 month. That's close to being half the age my father was when he passed. Yeah, be productive, hustle, work your ass off, do all that jazz, social media rainbow bullshit that they tell you on social media, hustle culture. But don't forget to stop to smell the roses while you still can. Be present, explore that interest, go to that event, take that trip, check on your friends, spend time with your siblings, tell your partner you love them, call your parents, because one day you won't be able to do any of those things anymore and you'll regret it. And I can promise you that much. And the only reason I'm able to say this is because I unfortunately regret quite a few things now that my father's gone. I regret not resolving certain issues when we had them because we were both men and we both let our pride and egos get the best of us. I regret not spending more time with him. I regret not talking to him more. I regret not listening to him enough. But more importantly, I regret waiting until this year to really try and make the effort to try and repair the relationship that I had with my father, which, by the way, wasn't a bad one, but me and him, like, we never verbally said it, but we can sense that it wasn't the best and it wasn't where we wanted it to be, and that we both were willing to make it work. And I regret waiting until this year to try and make it happen, because now I will never get to see that relationship that I've always wanted to have with my father all the way through. And so, yeah, go to the gym, make money, find your potential partner, do all these productive things in your day to day. Yeah, work your fucking ass off while you're young and you still got the energy, but don't forget along your journey of life, like I just said, to stop and smell the roses while you still can, but also have some fun along the way. Because I promise you, when you are on your deathbed, you are not going to tell yourself, damn, I wish I worked harder, or damn, I wish I went another day to work, or damn, I wish I made another $1 million. No, you'll probably, if you're able to talk on your deathbed, you're probably going to want the people that you love and care about the most around you. But not only that, you want them to talk to you and share stories. And you, if you're able to speak, share stories with them about all the experiences and memories that you were able to create with them. So don't wait to put any of these things off, bro. Because I let, in my early 20s and even up until in recent years, let this whole grind your ass off, work 24/7, hustle culture, I gotta make millions and get in elite shape and do all this shit. I let that shit get to me. But now, in recent years, especially with my father passing, I am going to make it a point to not only work my fucking ass off, but to also enjoy my life along the way. Because I don't know if I'll get to see another sunrise again. These last 2 lessons, as I've been doing with the other ones, I'm going to read straight. And I want you guys to really, really, really listen. Because these 2, in my opinion, are the biggest lessons that I have learned so far. And to me, are going to be what I want to heavily work on as I continue to not only live my life, but build my life and build myself as a man. So lesson 4 that I have learned is legacy. When people speak about my father, they don't talk about the houses he bought. how he helped get the entire family cars. None of that materialistic or external garbage y'all let social media convince you is helping you build success and a legacy. When people speak about my father, they share the experiences they had with him, the kind of man he was, but ultimately his character. They never talk about what he was able to do, but rather the impact he made on his family, those around him, those he tried helping, and more importantly, his community. You don't need to become somebody of mass importance. Fucking Andrew Tate. You don't need to leave a legacy. Legacy is who you were before you left and what kind of impact you made on the world. Can be on a massive scale or a not so massive one. Doesn't matter. My father didn't care what that looked like. He just tried his best to do what a man needed to do in his life and to help as many people in his life as he could along his journey. And that is something that I am going to work on moving forward. Is I don't want my legacy, when it's all said and done, to be defined by the amount of money I make, the amount of houses I get, the cars I got, or all this external, like I said, garbage that y'all let social media define as success. What I want my legacy to be is I want it to be about the impact I made, but more importantly, what I want to be known for when people talk about me for years to come. Because a lot of these influencers you see blowing up off of this like degenerate stuff or bullshit and making all this money, living this lavish life, I promise you 5 to 10 years or even the next fucking year, a lot of them are going to be forgotten. But more importantly, you see it all the time online. A lot of these people are not known for the best things, because when people try to chase some sort of external success, they don't think about along the way what they want to be known for. Rather, they just want to get all these things and live a crazy life like they see their friends or their peers or their favorite influencers live on social media. And I used to want to do that, but I no longer want to do that anymore. Do I still want to make a bunch of money, get in elite shape, get a bunch of cars and houses? Maybe. I mean, I definitely do want one Rolex, one nice house, and I definitely do want to have financial freedom. But in terms of having 10 Rolexes, 10 houses, all this kind of stuff, like accumulate all these things, to be quite honest, I really don't care about that anymore. Instead, I just want to be able to live my life, have nobody tell me what the fuck to do, but more importantly, be able to take care of those that I care about, but also leave an impact on people and how I see best fit, and more importantly, leave a positive one. Lesson number 5. You rethink what being a man is after your father passes. Before my father passed, I thought I was on my way to becoming the man. Then my father passed, and now here I am completely rethinking what being a man is, and a real man at that. I'm still, as I'm recording this, as I'm reading this, trying to figure it out. But one thing I know for sure with 100% confidence is that most of these young alpha male clowns that you guys listen to online have almost zero clue, and want to sit on their little high horse and act like they have it all figured out and what it means to be a man, or a real man at that. There is more to being a man than just making a lot of money, being in elite shape, and all these external things, so to speak, that we value in modern society and that social media raised women value in men. If that was the case, if that was what being a real man was, or a good man at that, my father would be deemed as a failure or less than by almost every single metric that you guys try to use on the modern day man in 2026. But one thing I could tell you for certain is he was far from that. He never stopped trying his best, and he never stopped trying to figure out how to build his life and the future for his family, how he saw fit. And I think that's what being a man is. But like I just said, I don't have the full answer as of now, but with each passing day, I am starting to get more and more of a clue, and a much better clue than a lot of these fucking clowns that you see online that try to teach guys about how they should be and what type of life they should live. Don't always listen to these guys on the internet who you think have it all figured out, because I promise you they fucking don't. Because I realized my father, yeah, he, like I said, by social media standards, like he probably would fall short in every single metric. But one thing I can tell you is he was always a trying man. And one thing I have learned in this generation of lazy men is, and don't ever let nobody, especially a woman, tell you different, a trying man is a winning man. A trying man is fucking everything. Because as long as you keep trying and you don't ever quit, bro, you can never lose. The only time you will lose is when you fucking die. So as long as you never stop trying until the day you fucking die, you will eventually, and at least in my book, even before it happens, you are always going to be a fucking winner. And that's who my father was. He was a fucking winner. There were a lot of times where he would tell me that he felt like he could have done better, or that he was failing as a man, this and that. But, and then, like I said earlier in this video, I've had a lot of regrets in my life with my dad. But one thing that I am proud of myself of for doing, and I never stopped doing in these recent years before he passed, is whenever he did say that, I would always remind him how much of a good job he fucking did. He came to the US with just a suitcase of clothes. And from that, with his bare fucking hands, built not only a great and comfortable life for himself, but for his family. And for that, I will always be grateful. And as much as it fucking sucks that you're no longer here with me, Dad, I just wanted to say thank you, because despite the mixed emotions that I am feeling from you no longer being here with us in the physical world, you did leave us, or at least me in my opinion, one last gift when you departed, and that was the gift of all these lessons and the knowledge that I am being equipped with now. Because I already, within 1 month, feel and act like a different man. And I actually, for once in my life, am starting to think to myself that I'm starting to become a real fucking man. And so I just wanted to say thank you for that one last gift. But more importantly, thank you for everything that you have fucking done. And until I take my last breath, I will see you later, old man.